I like that they put 99 Problems with T.I. off that mixtape, that Grand Hustle mixtape.
Who was Lost Ones about? Lauryn Hill was dissing somebody?
What?
Why call
Yo, man, this episode's over, man.
Damn.
Yo, man, we quit.
I was like, bro, I quit. It's over. He always got one. Every episode, he got one.
No, this rap shit's out of control, man.
It's control.
So rap is out of control. This Rap Life Review, that's Eddie over there in L.A. I'm Ebro, that's Low and Nadeska. Me and Nadeska got beef, and it's Lowkey 47's fault. We'll get to that. I want to shout out to all the new music out here. Larry June, Cardo Got Wings.
Yeah.
Slick Rick, Victory album.
Yeah.
ESTG album, Lil Tecca, Queens. Dopamine, he's moving. AJ Tracy. Did anybody listen to this Juicy J Logic?
I did.
What you got for us?
So I just wanted to say everybody here knew that Logic and Juicy J were good friends except for me.
Nope. Did not know this.
I had no idea.
Found out today.
I mean, they got songs before, so
yes, I knew
kind of
that.
was aware of something.
But apparently they're like friends. Like Juicy J was at Logic's wedding, according to the conversations on the... Anyway, yeah, I had no idea that these two even knew each other, let alone they were going to release a whole album, so I had to listen just out of straight curiosity.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So Logic is like interviewing in a good way. Interesting in a good way. It's not that kind of day. Stop this.
No,
you saw that? He's ready.
I was like, what's he laughing at?
Stop this.
Don't do that.
Logic is like interviewing Juicy J throughout the project, and there's some like interesting conversations like the future of AI and rap. Some weird conversations like him asking Juicy J about losing his virginity. I didn't know guys talked about stuff like.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I mean,
you talk about that?
Explicit conversations, but not that. Anyway. And then also
at a juncture in your life, you did.
Yes. Not
at this juncture, but also finding out that Logic let Juicy J rap over all like the trap beats and things he would usually like, and then changed the tempo so he could stay in his pocket. Interesting. Anyway, it's cool. I like the production on it. It's like a mellow vibe, and there's like a couple songs where Logic's flow is so different from Juicy J's. I don't love those, but then there's some where they're kind of on the same wave, and it's nice. Like, it's a surprisingly good project. I didn't know they were cool, didn't know what to expect because their styles are different, but I'd say it's definitely worth a listen.
I didn't think, you don't strike me as a Juicy J Logic.
But it was interesting. The woman said it was interesting.
I know.
Which one of them?
Just that's the
combo.
Combination.
I mean, the combination of them on paper makes zero sense, which is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it.
The sweet and sour theory.
Okay.
You don't know anything about me, do you?
Go tell him more about
it. Really, like 15 years?
I love things that don't make sense together, but then they do make sense.
Okay, then that makes sense.
Once you hit play, it actually does make a lot of sense.
Okay. When you not like, unlike Low, you don't operate from a hater's place. You operate from a lover's place, which makes you curious and want to learn.
No,
people operate from a hater's space.
No,
they automatically don't want to know things because
no. I didn't say it looked like a bad project. It didn't really.
No, I didn't say you said that. I just said you operate from a hater's space.
No, that's not.
No, but your beginning is always hate before you. You're a cynic.
I didn't ask why they made the album together.
Why would you ask that? Because they're friends.
That's a hater standpoint, though. Why are they doing it? That sounds like a hater. I just didn't know they had, an interjunction of a relationship like Nadeska so eloquently laid out. So now I'm gonna be a little more curious.
Mind, as the woman
and
said.
Now she's got me curious about what this project,
which is why she's great.
And I'm not.
Check that out.
I didn't say that.
Check that out.
He alluded, which is why.
Half empty cynical ass.
I said, which is why she's great. What does that insinuate?
Juicy J and Logic live and in color.
Hey, can we rewind though?
Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, look, because you kind of went over it quick. That Lil Tecca album's kind of fire, y'all.
Yes.
Look, I was going through it. I seen the prep they sent it this weekend, and I'm usually not a Lil Tecca guy. Like, Lil Tecca got heads, I'm not mad at him.
You're one of those guys now. You started to brand yourself as such.
I had to send Nadeska and S with a text like, you guys, this little, like you get about 5 or 6 songs in, you're like, hold on, let me actually pay attention.
Yes.
I was just riding around. Lil Tecca got some motherfucking heat on that album.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
And it's doing very well on Apple Music.
And he looks cool now.
He looks cool.
He didn't look cool before?
Whoa.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, when he came out, I feel like his look was very like
he was a nerd?
rap nerdy chic, which is cool. I'm not mad at it.
He's growing up?
But on the album cover, I'm like, oh, you look grown now and like kind of cool, right?
Grew up.
All right, just confirming.
He
fits with the music.
So he looked like a dweeb before.
Damn, man, that's rough.
He kind of did. He kind of did. He kind of did, though. He kind of did.
Okay, see, just be honest. Like, that's what you were trying to say.
Wow,
To be fair, though,
but the music is good, right?
Owned it. He owned it. Like,
Right.
he was always 100% himself, talking about like he was lying in songs. Like, I ain't never did that. I ain't never been there. Shout out Lil Tech always being a
Shout out to Lil Tecca, man.
He's honest.
We love a dweeb.
Yeah, and also Lowkey 47, phenomenal album.
Here we go.
Promotional use only. Is that the actual album title for promotional use only?
Actual title.
Got it. I love that.
A little cheeky. No, the album is amazing.
Yeah.
And
a lot of her albums have been amazing. I've been a supporter for a long time.
Go ahead. Just
Here it comes.
lay out the beef, Ebro. Let's
trying to
just
tee
get it
that
out.
shit up perfectly.
For a
good.
long time, I was there.
What's your beef with it though?
So I had a
I don't
conversation.
have a beef with the album at all.
Give it beef with.
I don't have a beef with Nadeska. I just got beef with the fact that now Lowkey 47, who I've loved and supported as an artist, has now taken her mask off.
For the first time in Nadeska's interview.
So you started from a hater's perspective.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't start from a hater's perspective.
Bingo.
You kind of did.
I did not at all. I started
I have
from
beef.
a
You said you
supporter's
had beef. The
perspective.
second you started, you said you had beef.
Yeah.
No, I have beef with her taking off her mask, not with Lowkey 47, and not with the album.
Okay, but with our co-host.
But you're hating on her taking off the mask for Nadeska, so you
Yeah,
started
that-
with,
I
you
think
started with him.
Yeah, so you guys are
Yeah,
right.
so you
You're
started
right.
with
You're
hate.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
All right. At least she's honest about it.
You're right.
You know, on that note, why don't we check out this clip of Lowkey 47 talking about why she decided to take off the mask for this album. So it's only been a few months now, right, that you finally took the mask off. As far as long as we've known you've had the mask on, you dropped the video for 450, I think, in October.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the first time you took the covering off. We saw your face. You've been hiding this beautiful face, these gorgeous cheekbones behind this mask this whole time.
Thank you.
And I thought that maybe a lot of it was, you know, I've heard that you were like a shy kid growing up, something I can also relate to. But meeting you, you are full of charisma. It's like you walk into a room and you light up the whole room. You don't actually seem like a person who would have had to hide behind the mask. So clearly that was like a very conscious choice. So why take it off now? And do you actually feel uncomfortable? Because I don't see it.
Well, I took it off because God said so. God was the one who told me to put it on. I had a mission and a purpose, and a lot of being a shy person and a recluse. I think I had to get over that, like, you know, and that mask and being an artist, like, you know, okay, so being an artist and being who I was before the mask just was not gonna work.
Really?
Oh, no. Like, I remember there was one time, like, there was a moment where I didn't talk, like, before shows. Like, they would be like, look, Kaylee, like, you gotta say something to people. And I would just get up there and just go. I'm not saying, hey, how y'all doing tonight? We in New York, whatever. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm like, I just go get on the stage, perform my songs, and get off. And I would run off the stage. And I'd be like, bro, you can't do that.
Yo, I was telling her that I assumed one of the reasons she was wearing the mask to begin with was because she was shy and wanted to focus on music, felt more confident behind the mask. But actually, she's like very charismatic and full of personality and
1000%.
super cool. Also very, very down to earth. We had
Yes.
like some good life talks. So now I'm like confused why she had the mask on this entire time anyway. But the album, really dope. Like, it's always really like dance, house. It's very like
her
futuristic. Like
musicality-
she is, yeah.
Her
rapping
palette's
ability,
crazy.
musicality, like all of it. I would suspect that the mask was on because I think she's been active in the industry as a songwriter and doing other things, and kind of, you know, just didn't want that story to be a part. Not so much her look per se, but just
The
people
identity.
putting it together like, oh, that's the
Right.
Oh, you know what I mean? And she kind of wanted to, I think, build a brand. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's your
she's
favorite? Who's
Sorry.
your favorite not showing their face ass artist?
favorite
Wait,
not
phrase that
showing
one more.
your
Say that
face
again.
ass?
So, like,
I just want to make sure everybody caught that.
Not
So
showing
The
your
Weeknd-
face ass.
As
The
artist.
Weeknd didn't show his face ass. Sia didn't show her face ass.
Daft
What's
Punk.
the
Oh,
country
Sia did a
boy?
That's your
great job.
favorite, not showing your
What's the
face
country
ass?
boy
Daft Punk?
that,
Four Bats is one of the most recent
No,
ones.
Forbat shows his face.
Yeah, Forbat shows his face.
I mean, he
No,
didn't
but
for the
rumor
first.
rumor didn't used to show his face.
Who?
Rumor.
Oh.
Rumor, yeah.
What's the country dude that wears the mask? That guy, he don't show his face.
I don't know that one.
What about
fired.
Marshmallow?
Marshmallow.
Yeah, see, I'm saying there's a whole bunch of not showing their face ass artists.
It's just the labeling is astounding.
I just
I feel like it was
wanna know your
perfectly
preference.
described.
It was
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting transitioning from never doing it to
always doing it.
then changing around.
Ghostface
But
Killer
it,
did that. In the very first Wu-Tang, like when you first met Wu-Tang, he had a Ghostface Killer, you didn't see him. It's Ghostface. But that was, it was,
early.
a blip.
Yeah.
So that was your favorite.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was my favorite. I just wanted to put that out there, which is why his name is Ghostface.
I didn't actually know that. Yeah. That was a good question, Eddie. All right, well, y'all
Great
can
question, Eddie,
check
but
out the
got
album.
0 answers.
Sorry. No, we made a short
We
list.
just named a bunch of motherfuckers.
0. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite.
I just named
But I
the
do
ones.
love
Weekend
the
early on
Candy
with
47 though.
Yeah, check out the new album for promotional use only. And the full interview is going to be out on Apple Music this Saturday, June 21st, if you want to check that out.
I also want to shout out Roddy Ricch, dropped his single for the upcoming Big F1, the movie off F1, the album. Got a chance to have a FaceTime with him too and talk about his love of cars and getting involved in the soundtrack. You know, that's the Brad Pitt, Damson Idris
Yeah, that shit look crazy.
joint, which is the big blockbuster for the season. Yes, Eddie.
You see the trailer that's a haptic feedback trailer?
Yes.
That was crazy, bruh.
Nuts.
Yeah, check that out if you haven't seen it. It's on Apple
You want to
TV+.
explain to them what that means for people who don't know?
Okay, so if you play like Xbox or PlayStation, you hold a controller, your controller like vibrates simultaneously to the action that's on the screen. So for the first time ever, Apple made a trailer that has haptic feedback. So if you hold your iPhone, it will vibrate according to like the car vroom, and turns and all that. It's kind of wild, bro.
That's
like
crazy.
straight up.
That's
Yeah, the movie's real cool. To be honest,
You saw it?
You saw it?
yeah, so Formula One, it's cool, interesting sport, not something I would particularly watch in my own time. But so I went into the movie not really knowing what to expect. But surprisingly, all the F1 footage and the driving was actually like shot so well. The cinematography is amazing. Like I was way more invested in it than I thought I was going to be.
So I was definitely invested when I saw it too. What I did find out about the shooting of F1 was it was shot at actual F1 races.
It's like real footage they use.
Those are real.
No. They would literally find 5 and 10 minute breaks in the racing
And shoot.
and put those cars out there, shoot that, drive that, act that, and then get out of the way for the race to continue.
So
Because
dope.
these are all actual races, all
They're
actual
actual
competitions.
races.
And they're going 5 to 10
With the
minutes.
actual crowd.
That's crazy.
I want to go to Monaco, bro.
Did the
That
crowd
looked
know what was
fire.
going on or no?
I don't have no idea. I don't know that
Yeah.
part.
That's crazy.
No wonder it
was
felt
Lewis
so
Hamilton in it?
realistic.
Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton is in it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's my guy.
There's a couple
Well,
of
and
cameos.
here's a significant piece for the F1, if you want to see F1 the movie. So Damson Idris is in it. He's alongside Brad Pitt. People may not realize that Lewis Hamilton is the only black F1 driver in the history of F1
Wow.
and has won, I think, 7 championships with the Mercedes team. Now on the Ferrari team, hasn't won yet, just started. And there's been this whole controversy around because he was on his way to winning the 8th one, and there was like this whole controversy around F1 kind of working against him to not win the championship, and him being very outspoken during Black Lives Matter and speaking up on behalf of black folks and wanting F1 to be more inclusive because it takes a lot of money to participate, right? And his dad worked, if you ever get into Lewis Hamilton's story, his dad worked like 3 jobs just so he could get into the kart racing. And then he just kept working and got on the Benz team and built, Lewis Hamilton's story is crazy. But this also in the movie, having a co-star and having a black F1 driver is a big deal.
Yeah.
Dope.
For the
Thank
F1
you.
movie. So there's
That's
some
background
context
information.
there.
Yeah, the F1. Yeah, the F1 reality show's fire too.
Was that Drive to Survive?
Man, that joint fire,
Seen
boy.
some
That
of
boy
that.
for Red Bull be smoking them boys.
Sounds invested.
Piastri or whatever, how you ever say it. I don't know how you say it. That mother, he be smoking them boys, boy. Red Bull they fell off last season though. No, they kind of fell off, but it's cool.
Thanks.
See, y'all didn't know.
That is your
I'm in on
F1
everything,
update,
y'all.
courtesy of Eddie.
Super underdog story though.
There we go.
In summary.
Speaking of racing, Grand National Tour, that is Kendrick Lamar's. Tied that into the car, the GNX. If you didn't know.
that was good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
But there was a lot of talk this week around Kendrick being in Toronto.
Lo was talking about it.
What were you saying, Lo?
Actually, I wasn't really saying a lot. I just thought it was a moment that kind of spoke volumes to what Kendrick did over the last year. And I guess how much Toronto anticipated and respected what he did. Even outside of the beef, just the album. Just Kendrick's moment, but watching Toronto swallow that moment and just be engulfed. Okay, pause. My fault. It was crazy. Being engulfed in that moment and asking him to perform Not Like Us both nights one more time, like an encore, then he stood there for 3 minutes for a 3-minute standing ovation, I would feel some type of way if I was homeboy.
Yeah, he DMing senators or
the dude, I forgot his name, or Ben, whatever.
He apologized too. He DM'd him back.
He called him a goof.
Yeah. He was like, yes, I was there for SZA.
He apologized publicly saying that, I was just there for SZA and what the OVO team has done for the city of Toronto. Two things can be true, yes. OVO has done a lot for Toronto, Drake has done a lot for Toronto, but you can still be a fan of, Kendrick and SZA and go to the show and have fun and support their art as well. So I don't see
politicians have to apologize for.
I don't see
think he had to apologize, but I think he probably feels like his voting constituency, which is young, might be picking sides, or maybe he felt like, Drake really took offense, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to be a part of like offending Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, if it's gonna be to that, then you should have just not went, period.
And also too,
like if you're gonna have that stance on it, if you felt like he was gonna react that way,
he probably didn't, or he would have not. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't know.
And his first DM was him like shouting out Drake, like he hit Drake up first. So it's like, yo, come on, man.
But I think like those were past messages. But like the message we saw was you're a goof, and I'm like,
but the initial message was that dude hitting up Drake. So he's like, yo, come on, man, we rock with each other. I thought we was on the same. I just think that Canada.
I think it's just corny.
Which part?
The same smart tech.
Him going, the politician,
Drake calling him a goof.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I just think that's corny. But I mean,
I think that if you're not in hip hop, like you're not in it the way we're in it,
right?
Or you're just a fan of music, you could be, not saying it is, but you could be ignorant to the severity of, how things are perceived. People say, picking sides or whatever, rap beef politics,
and how shit plays out.
How shit plays out long term. You could be ignorant to that. Listen, most of the fans that were in there enjoying SZA and Kendrick,
yes,
I would assume they also like Drake also.
No, I'm sure they love Drake.
Exactly. So they're fans going to enjoy a concert. That, once again, they're not, just because I live in Toronto, you know how many people come through New York City that quote, the streets don't fuck with? You know what I'm saying? And people be like, yo, I'm in New York. And people will be like, yeah, you was in Manhattan, doggy. Like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Toronto's mad big.
No, I understand. The optics of this entire, and this is not me trying to push a narrative, it just looks like it's crazy to this whole situation over the past year. It does just look wild to see.
Yes.
Because you're in this man's hometown. You're advocating for a song that's been kicking his back in for the last year. It's one of the best streamed rap records of all time. So it's everything leading up to that moment. It looks wow.
It does.
It's a wowsome moment. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he relinquishes the control and like he don't have no control over Toronto or he's not the king of the six or whatever. But for those last 2 days, that concert looked ridiculous.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying.
If the reverse happened, right? I'm out here in LA.
It would be the same thing.
If Drake wanted to do Staples Centers for like 3 nights in a row, he could.
Yeah, of course.
And it would sell out, and people would be singing along to everything. Like the same rules would apply.
It'd be the same. It'd be the same optics. Like roles reverse. It'd be the same thing.
SoFi, but he could do Staples Center a few times or whatever it's
called.
And
for Eddie, for people who don't know, what is the difference?
So the difference is Kendrick just did their equivalent of a stadium. Their baseball spot where they play baseball. SoFi is our football stadium. Football stadium's 60-something thousand. Whereas you go to Staples Center, you're getting like 17 to 20,000. It's a way smaller venue that Drake has sold out multiple times before. The only reason I'm saying is Drake has never done a stadium tour, which people have put out there multiple times. I'm not sure why. I think Drake can do a stadium tour. For whatever reason, he just hasn't, whereas Kendrick is on a multiple cities and multiple nights stadium tour right now that he's selling out.
He could definitely do SoFi.
Drake.
Yeah. He could definitely do SoFi.
I don't know if he could do 3 nights, but he could do it.
He could definitely do 2 nights in SoFi.
I said he could do it.
He gonna do it.
Yeah, now.
He gonna do it.
I don't see why he hasn't. Like, I literally don't know the answer. Like, I've seen people speculating online, and y'all don't know what's going on. None of y'all have a good answer because especially when Drake was at his hottest, he got 100% done a stadium tour. I just don't know why he chose not to.
I think, like, from what I gathered online, I think people were saying that he likes the intimacy a little bit more
We don't know what he like. People online don't know
this is
Drake.
what I gathered. Not from Drake.
I'm not
this is what
talking
I
to you. I'm
gathered.
talking to them.
This is the information I gathered. Okay, this is the conversation that I've gathered. That he likes the intimacy. He likes to see the crowd reaction. He likes to be up front with the people. You can't do that in the stadium. That's the information that I gathered. So I don't know
from
how he
people
feels
online?
out of his mouth. Just I gathered.
So anyway, it was definitely an interesting week. Here we go. This was set up nice. Complex 50 best hip hop diss songs of all time. Now, our prep here says 50 best. I read, when I looked at Complex list, one of the things I always look for in lists is, what is that called? The adjective in the top line. Are you gonna use top, best? What are we using, right?
Greatest.
Greatest.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Right.
They say none of that actually. It just says Complex's top 50 diss records of all time. So top could mean performance-based, like how well it actually did.
How well it streamed or how well it sold.
Right, it could mean that. I'm not quite sure what they mean here, but based on the number one, I would think it has something to do with chart position, yes?
If we're looking at top, if we're looking at that description, yeah, that's the only way.
Because one is Kendrick, two is Pac, which was on a huge album.
Yeah.
Jay-Z Takeover was on a huge album.
Yep.
Ether, another huge one. BDP was an actual single. No Vaseline was on an actual single.
No, it was on. It was
an
on
album.
Yeah.
Story of Adidon.
That was a Lucy.
That was Lucy. I don't know if that
Gucci
ever.
Mane Truth wasn't no single.
Say it again.
Gucci Mane Truth wasn't no
No,
single.
that wasn't a single either. I don't know if that was on anything
That's
either.
number
Back to
19.
back wasn't a.
That was what?
That was a.
That's number 19 on
No,
here.
I'm saying, but was that on an album or a tape?
You know, Gucci was putting that on one of the
That was
million
on one of the
mixtapes he had
mixtapes.
back
Yeah,
then.
okay.
But yeah, back to back was a single.
But yeah, I was just looking at really like the top 20. The only one that jumped out, I think Family Matters definitely charted.
Yeah.
Right, because that was on streaming services. So I don't know what they mean by top. So I didn't really get emotionally invested in their list.
This is a thorough list though, because there's
Yeah.
a lot. There's some mixtape cuts, there's some album cuts, there's
Not a
some
bad list.
Lucy's. It's not a bad list, and they're known for really stirring up the shit.
But I
with
mean,
their
if by
lists.
top they mean straight popularity, I guess is that indisputable? Because not only did it stream well, he won the Grammys, he
Yeah.
performed it at the Super Bowl. I don't think a diss track has ever reached those heights.
Right.
has not.
So it would make a lot of sense. I mean, it's interesting. So this is the first like full-on beef Kendrick has been in. And he has multiple songs now in the top 50 of all time.
Chef G is on there with No Suburban. Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm just glad DJ Quick made it with dollars and cents.
It don't make dollars.
I'm glad Beanie made it with Put Your Hands Up.
Ain't in you.
I like that they put 99 Problems with T.I. off that mixtape, that Grand Hustle mixtape.
Who was Lost Ones about? Lauryn Hill was dissing somebody?
What?
Why Clef?
Yo, man, this episode's
Word?
over, man.
Damn.
Yo, man,
I missed
we
that.
quit.
I was like, bro, I know
I quit.
it's over. He always got one. Every episode, he got one.
Wait, you didn't know that was about Wyclef?
I think I forgot, bro. I think I knew that and just forgot.
No, I was straight going at Wyclef.
You know, DMX's party was about corrupt.
Yeah, I knew that's old. Like, I don't understand why that made the news cycle again.
But they were also talking, well, somebody I just saw was talking Party Up, and there was another one DMX did.
What? That was the diss.
That was also this?
That was also a diss to Corrupt.
Oh, to Quick. Oh,
No, to Corrupt.
To Corrupt, yeah.
which one was that?
That ain't a good diss song, DMX. It's a hit. Terrible diss song. Rest in peace.
That was a good song.
No, I think it is Party Up. I'm
No,
confused.
yeah, Party Up is the
It's
only
just
one.
Party
Yeah.
Up. Yeah.
Terrible diss song. Great record, though.
Yeah, you saw about his big movie.
I never liked Party Up.
That's one of the
ever.
ones you hate the most, right?
DMX hates that record.
I have definitely heard an Ebro rant about this song before.
Yo, man.
Don't get me
Y'all gonna
started.
make me lose my mind.
Up in here?
Wait, DMX, where your hood has a diss song?
I don't know. I'll be honest with y'all. Unless it's a good song, I never even really keep track of diss songs. It's gotta also be good.
Do you have a favorite diss song?
A favorite diss song.
No Vaseline is my favorite diss song.
That's your favorite?
That's my favorite.
Hit 'em up. It's like one of the
Hit
few
'em
songs
up.
that I can
I like
recite
Common
like
Bitchin' You.
90%.
That was
Going at Cube.
That was nasty.
Because it was just also just a dope beat, good song.
Yeah.
No
That's- you
Vaseline
got a
went up
favorite?
for me
You got
just
a
because of the
favorite
I
movie.
like Takeover a lot.
That's just a great song.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It goes back to that point. Ether's a great diss.
I like Nas, Build and Destroy.
Like that one too.
Corrupt calling out names. I really like
Calling
that.
out names
Speaking
is
of
tough.
Speaking of DMX, this, yeah.
What's the 50 Cent joint?
Back Down.
Back Down. Woo! Back Down's a heater.
Back Down. Put Your Hands Up with Beanie Siegel.
I like
Responding
Put Your
to
Hands
Kiss.
And in the truth, bro, yeah, I'm gonna go back, man. Gucci Mane, that is still the hardest diss song of all time. And I'm
The
not gonna get into
hardest
it
of all time?
because he did that.
Yeah.
That
That was in self-defense.
We ain't gotta get. Wait, listen.
No, I'm
We ain't gotta
just
get
saying.
into it. We ain't
I
gonna
mean,
get
dang, you
Let's
just
not get into it.
instantiating on
Let's
the
not get into
program.
it.
Yeah, I know I
Let's
should
not
have
get into
ended
it.
the program back at Lost One.
And he recited it to that man's face.
Oh yeah.
I still don't understand why even Jeezy agreed to do that shit, because you knew Gucci was going to
He's
just
just like a man, he's healed.
To his face.
But to
He's
his
healed.
face,
You
yeah.
gotta heal. Sometimes you gotta heal. You gotta heal from the streets.
I
man.
wouldn't heal. I wouldn't heal after that.
Homeboy
No, you gotta
to
heal.
his face.
You gotta
I wouldn't.
heal,
Yeah,
man.
I wouldn't heal after that.
You gotta heal. You gotta
That was a
Dig up
one-on-one
his
performance to his face
homeboy
about
to
smoking your homeboy. Yeah, I can't live with that one. I can't live that one down.
I'm saying the truth.
Well, no,
bro,
but by the way, y'all talking like that, you already lived through it in real life.
No,
a
we did,
song
yeah.
is a song.
Yeah.
So y'all, us as pedestrians to a situation,
I ain't touching it.
when people actually
No, yeah.
have healed in real life, your little song ain't doing nothing to me like that.
He was
You know
still
what I'm saying?
he was still offended.
It doesn't
by
mean
though.
I'm not affected by it, but I lived it it was a life.
in a real way.
So, but anyway, I knew I should have ended on
Yeah,
Lost One.
things
Like, what are we doing?
just got a little dark.
We want to say rest in peace to Ananda Lewis. We got word that she passed after her battle with breast cancer at the age of 52. If you're not familiar with Ananda Lewis, maybe you missed her on MTV back in the day. I know when we was all, watching her back in the day on TRL and just doing news segments. I think she even went on to do some stuff for CNN, but
Yeah, she's like Teen
Before
Summit
that, Teen Summit.
Teen Summit,
She
yes,
had her
Teen Summit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there was like no one cooler than Ananda Lewis growing up. It's like weird working in this industry. People ask all the time about artists and people that you want to meet, and never really know like who to say. And like, I'm actually really sad that she's a person I never got to meet. Like, I watched TRL religiously growing up, and like, she was just so cool and laid back. And I thought her job was like the scariest thing in the world. I couldn't imagine doing live content and talking to artists and doing news packages and all of that. And now she just had like an amazing spirit. And then later she went on to become like a contractor and a carpenter. I feel like that could be me. That's what I want to do in like my second life. So rest in peace. No, she's been dealing with breast cancer for a few years, and I was following her on Instagram, and gonna be forever sad I never got a chance to meet her.
Rest in peace, Ananda Lewis. Also send a rest in peace out to Sly Stone. If you're not familiar with Sly and the Family Stone, obviously a lot of hip hop samples come from the music he created. He also started out as a radio DJ. A lot of people don't know that.
In the back.
And he's from the Bay Area too. And at the time, obviously having a multi-ethnic, multiracial, having women in his band, his sister was playing and him, and that was like a big deal at the time, right? And he's got a great documentary I think Questlove produced.
It's great.
It's a phenomenal documentary.
It's great, yeah.
Did you know the piece about his there's a riot going on being a response to Marvin Gaye's What's Going On? Did you know that before the doc?
Nah, there was so much, because, a lot of Sly's biggest hits predate me. So that's the point and the beauty of these documentaries. So I sat down and watched it. I knew a lot about the music. I didn't know the history behind a lot of it, and I didn't know necessarily Sly's stories, good and bad, and the struggles that he had with a lot of things throughout his life. But there was this cool moment where they didn't know at the end of the documentary if he was going to be able to make it, or if he was going to even attend his own Hall of Fame induction. And the whole band's like waiting, like what's going on with Sly, and you kind of realize that's just kind of who Sly was. So when he shows up, there was this cool, dot on the explanation point that is his career. So even though he passed away, 82 is a long life. We wish he was here a lot longer, but it's cool that he did have that moment where not only he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, but he got that documentary. He got to live to see it and have all these people be introduced to Sly's music, and not just through the samples, but the original beginnings of the origin of his art.
I'm gonna check that out. I haven't seen it
That
yet.
was a real good doc. Real good, Doc. And shout out to everybody engaging in the comments, too, before we wrap. People disagreeing with my take on artificial intelligence. Listen, y'all can disagree. I know what you're seeing as artificial intelligence today. You think that's the beginning of what artificial intelligence is. Artificial intelligence started way before this moment in history, and just like anything else in technology, it evolves. Now you have the ability for artificial intelligence to learn and actually take on and do commands that are far beyond earlier commands, right? Like just like anything else we've seen evolve, computers, phones, et cetera, et cetera. So me saying that auto-tune is artificial intelligence, it is artificial intelligence. It's just at a different place in the spectrum of technology than where we are today. And, you know, y'all out here, you guys think...
Nah, you was wrong.
No, I wasn't.
You was wrong, because after I read the comments, I was like, you know what? They had a point, because the difference between what you're saying and what artificial intelligence is now, at the end of the day, it was a human inputting things, humans creating, and they were finishing it with technology. What AI is doing is replacing that part of it. There's not a human creating. It is just all artificial intelligence emulating what they think humans want to make. So when you say something,
but that's not true either.
Isn't it a human inputting?
Yes. Well, first of all, the reason they're mad at Timberland is partially because he used that Suno technology that's out here, where they actually used beats that were already made by humans to then go and make other beats based on what it learned. You have to put data into it for it to learn. And sometimes, just like when you're using a chat bot, it's scanning the internet for things that were written by humans so it can learn, and then it learns how to put shit together after that. When you're using auto-tune, somebody's taught this thing how to take a note and change it to the correct note. That's exactly what auto-tune is.
That's different, though. That's different. It's still T-Pain creating and singing a song, and auto-tune is perfecting it to
but auto-tune is a technology of artificial intelligence. Yes, it is.
That's technology. It's not It's not removing T-Pain from it. T-Pain still went in there, created a song, sang a song, wrote the song, built the song. AI eliminates that.
This version of AI.
No, what you're saying is two different things. You're saying technology. You're using the umbrella of technology and saying all that is AI, which is not true.
Auto-tune is specifically taking a wrong note and making it a right note. The computer, the technology, the intelligence itself is making it correct on your behalf.
What's the difference between that and a metronome?
Metronome is just telling you the time.
Okay.
And so you yourself have to keep up with the time, or it puts it on time for you. So if it's putting it on time for you, that's artificial intelligence. If you're doing it yourself, I agree. That's just you using technology. But once you allow a computer to make your creation a new creation that is correct from incorrect, that's the intelligence of the technology doing that on your behalf.
That is not that. Because at the end of the day, that's like someone from Pixar say, okay, 2D animation, right? 2D animation was someone hand-drawing all their art, right?
That's right.
Then all of a sudden Pixar and all that, Toy Story happens, and now computers are creating the art.
That's right.
It's still people inputting all the information to create the art. It's not someone saying, okay, so now what AI is, someone goes, make me a Pixar movie in a minute about XYZ.
That's right.
And they step away from the computer.
That's right.
And the computer just does that.
And that's where it is today. That's where it is today. But where it was,
when they made Toy Story, that wasn't AI, and that's what you're saying with the music with auto-tune. It's still a person creating the music,
and
AI
then
is not creating the music.
Technology took it to another place. This is just the way it was taught to me, guys.
You
guys can argue over machine learning and all that stuff, but these machines have to learn from humans so that then when you give it a prompt, it's taking what it learned and creating something new out of what it learned from humans putting it in there. But it had to learn. The starting place is still humans.
I understand that, but it's not humans creating. It's not the definition is artificial intelligence
today.
But what you were saying is not an example of artificial intelligence. What you were saying was an example of advancing technology. There's a difference.
Okay, fine.
Should we just agree?
I disagree.
Agree to disagree, and we can get we have a lot of experts. We have experts, right? We can hit someone from Cupertino to maybe come enlighten us here.
Absolutely. We work at Apple.
We too have some resources.
Humans that taught machines how to do certain things so that they can then do it on your behalf and call it artificial intelligence.
Siri, help us, please. Let's wrap this episode.
Do you guys want to highlight something positive from the YouTube comments?
No, that was great. Yo, shout to Russ for coming through. It was a great convo.
Yeah.
Shout to Russ for coming through. Great convo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe more artists will come through and sit on the couch. Some people want us to make Russ a co-host. I doubt that's gonna happen. He's got a job.
He's very good. He's very good.
And I don't know if he's gonna be here every week.
We can't pay him.
And the money ain't. Yeah, nah. That logo makes you think it's popping. But nah.
Looks so deceiving.
Nah, man. Nah.
Also, shout out to the BT Awards.
Phenomenal. Best award show on TV.
Best award show on TV. They're black
Love
tied
BET
up.
Awards.
The tributes were great. The Jamie Foxx tribute was great. The 106 in Park tribute was great. They got it right. So I just wanted to make sure.
Did you guys see the Jamie Foxx Netflix? You guys had saw that already.
Yeah.
The stand-up?
The stand-up, yeah.
Yeah, his most recent stand-up, which was phenomenal also. But peace. See y'all next time. And maybe we'll get some AI. So I don't even have to be here. But then the AI would have had to learn what I do to mimic what I'm doing, so never mind.
What's up? You just finished an episode of the Rap Life Review. It's 2025, so new year means new episodes coming your way. If you want to get in the conversation, you can always drop us a comment below. And of course, you can like and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Catch us next week on a brand new episode of the Rap Life Review right here on Apple Music.